Welcome to the one-on-one interview show from AutoHub Show Media, and let's get started.
All right. Hello there. This is Ian Nethercott with the AutoHub Show with our new logo done with fiber. So if you're looking for a logo for like $50, there you go. But we will be at NADA 2026 in Las Vegas next month. And I'm sure we're going to hear a lot about AI. That's artificial intelligence for the unbaptized or the people who aren't yet in the loop. So I thought it made sense, being that AI is everywhere, that we have someone on who actually understands AI, has built a product and a series of products around it, but more importantly, in my opinion, is ahead of the curve with agentic AI, but more so for every type of business. So I know there's a lot of talk about AI. There's a lot of like, I'm better than this guy, and my product has this, and whatever. So, Denis, maybe you can share sort of why AI, like why did you create it, and what sort of, you guys are doing at NextGen, or I think it was Oberon before that. Maybe you can give me a sense of what NextGen's up to, and how you're different or than AI. I mean, you would know better than me.
No, thank you, and appreciate that. And you're spot on. There's a lot of camps out there on AI. Some of the doomsday scenarios, some the over optimistic, some that think this is, another hype that they need to jump on. And our team has been doing this, like you said, under a different brand for almost 20 years now. So we've been building software and automation and robotic automation and IoT and e-commerce for almost 20 years now. But when we decided to get into AI, what now they call artificial intelligence, even though it's an overly used term, 2.5, 3 years ago, when Mira Murati had just left ChatGPT, the tip was, hey, looks like there's already 35,000 AI tools. Is this what the world is going to use on a day-to-day basis to improve their lives? And everybody started freaking out. I mean, you can't use 35,000 or 40,000 by next month. I mean, I use 2 or 3. My team uses 20 or 30, but our entire implementation team probably uses a lot more. So we realized that there is not going to be an ROI in people learning how to better prompt Chat GPT or Claude, or how they can save 30 minutes on creating a picture, or maybe having AI write content, even though that's all amazing. And I think a few people have started there. What we realized is that the only way for companies to actually get an ROI is that if they focused on where the future is going, and the future is agentic team members. It only became reality for most companies when NVIDIA launched in January of last year their new GPU servers, but we have been doing agentic development even before that, just because of how long we've been in the business. And what we realized is that companies need fully autonomous AI team members to drive their vision going forward. I might be a weird CEO, but I don't think AI is supposed to be looked at scary. It's supposed to be there to be an augmentation of your team's efficiencies. You build an amazing team and an amazing top line revenue with human inefficiencies, with human commitments, with our day-to-day life. And agentic team members take 100% of that inefficiency out of the way. And technology moved on so fast that you can have an agentic team member that does business development, that does inbound calling, outbound calling, someone that does a 24-hour receptionist, someone that speaks 150 languages. But then you can also have agentic team members that can clone your best controller, your best salesperson, your best manager, your best engineer. So we realize that if we focus on building enterprise grade, and not enterprise pricing, but enterprise grade, you have to have a strong foundation, even for an SMB, to have an ROI on AI. It's not an Angry Bird app that you download, right? And you play with it a little bit. And remember, the reason why it gets scary is because of the unknown, and AI is getting access to your calendar, which you only had before. It's getting access to your email, which you only had before. Maybe your husband or your partner knew the password, right? But you only had before. Getting access to a lot of other investments that you have made in your life. We believe that an agentic team member, if they're secure, and they're built by a corporation that keeps the highest standards on ethics and security development and has done it before, it will give people, especially in the car industry that you're talking to, an entire agentic workforce that they never had before. So if they're running a dealership with 10 salespeople on the floor and 10 back office, right? A couple agentic team members will almost double that team. So the way that we measure productivity, Ian, is that a human being has around 1,200 hours that they invest into a company a year. Even though we pay them usually for 8 hours a day or for 22 days a month or for 40 hours a week, those are numbers that everybody knows. We're really not getting that, right? We're humans. We get sick, we got family, we got this. Everything happens in life. And McKinsey and Deloitte have realized that if you can grab around 3 to 4 hours a day from a human being and around 15 to 18 a month, you are running the most successful incentivizing organization ever. These people want to work, they love it, they're investing in the company, but they're never gonna get what we are claiming to be paying our employees. And then with an agentic team member, it's not about replacing these people.
Yeah.
You've invested so much into them, but it's about augmenting them. My team now runs agentic team members across the entire department, right? From card abandonment to customer service to 24-hour support to invoice payment to reviewing POs and purchase orders. So one agentic team member, Ian, gives you around 7,000 to 10,000 hours of productivity. And we build a platform where you do not use agentic or agents like solutions and software where you have to worry about it and try to keep up with the software and the updates and where to start and overload your IT. We build a platform where you actually hire, train, in quotes, hire, train, and now bring on board an agentic team member that's part of your org chart. You actually train and talk to them like they are actual human beings with a personality, with a bio, with a job description. And it has been amazing because we grew 400% last year. We expect to grow over 1,000% this year just because we have a proven process of taking human requirements that people are doing well, or your best people are doing very well, and we clone them and turn them into agentic processes and give that task to an agentic team member. And our platform makes it really easy for you to run and manage an agentic org chart right next to your human org chart. So we intertwine agentic team members with a name and a personality, but they're actually robots. They live on LLM and telecom minutes, not on steak dinners and Diet Coke. And then the humans at the same time. And it has, instead of them being afraid, it has actually accelerated. It has freed them up to actually do the most amazing part of the job and let their agentic team members actually give them the repetition and the dedication and the 24 hours that machines and telecommunication packages are supposed to do for humans. And that's what we called it. NextGen AI is the next-gen operating system for agentic team members. And we're very excited to share it with you. We really appreciate the opportunity.
Fantastic. There will be some video links below if you had some questions, because I'm sure you do. And there will be contact details for Denis if you want to reach out to him or his team directly. The new name is NextGen AI, and of course, there will be details on that as well. So, company has, pick your industry, they have some staff. They got accountants, they got sales managers, they got salespeople, they got service reps, they got customer service, they got accounting. How did they get started? Where did they get started? How can they avoid making the wrong call here? Like, how do they do this?
No, absolutely. And we're now over 1,000 AI agents right out there on use cases around the world. There's two types of companies. The one that know exactly what process they're missing out on, and they know in their mind that rather than hire one more person in this department, I should give a try to an agentic team member. And they usually go to our marketplace, and if there is somebody that's already prefabricated, it's really easy to pick, right? Like they're losing 20% of they're dropping 20% of their calls on the floor of a car dealership. Rather than go and hiring Mary or Dennis, they go and actually hire Dennis AI, which basically is answering every single call. So there's companies that know exactly, because they do a really good job at strategizing throughout the year. They have their end of year team meetings, so they know where to start. But then there's companies that don't, and we usually offer 1 or 2 day workshop to work them through. And we don't ask them hard questions, Ian. We have simplified this. You know what we ask them? Think if Santa gave you the elves for one night, where are you going to deploy them? They can put a gift, either through houses that don't have chimney. They can travel all over the world. They finish the entire thing, right? In one night. And the world wakes up with their gifts. So if you had those elves, we take their departmental heads, but usually the owners. So sales department, marketing, finance, sometimes legal, depending on where the bottlenecks are. All are overworked, understaffed, and they know exactly, if you put them in a room, they know exactly what they would do with those elves. One person will say, we have 2,000 dead leads that we have never touched in the last few months, right? The other one who says, hey, we're still 100 contracts behind on legal to review. Our DSO is 30 to 40 days later than what it should be. So they all know where the inefficiencies are. So for companies, Ian, that know what it is, we can immediately get them going between 48 to 72 hours with an agentic team member trained with a bio based on the job description. They go to our platform, we give them access, they pick the ones, they can even test it. If it's a conversational AI, SMS, email, WhatsApp, or non-conversational, right, voice-like, and they can start. So in the first 30 days, they will have a baby AI agent fully trained across everything that they needed to do, connected to their phone system, connected to LLMs, connected to or scheduling or calendars or emails in order for them to do that job. The ones that don't, Ian, we usually offer a 1 or a 2 day workshop to kind of bring together the use cases. We start with at least, top 10 most pain points for the year. And we usually then start, Ian, with the 2 that are the easiest one to implement. The reason why we pick the easiest, Ian, because most companies don't understand, and consultants that haven't done this in a long time or that don't have the platform, they don't tell them that not every company is ready for AI. If some of your data is in people's heads, we got to get it from their heads and put it into a digital format, either a CRM or a database or a file, before we can turn them into agentic team members. So AI agents are amazing to improve your existing processes. That might not be the best to start a brand new one that you have never tried on. So we work with companies, Ian, like I said, during either a day or a 2 day workshop or a few hours. And because we have done it so many times, Ian, that consultancy can immediately be turned into action because we own the platform that builds, trains, and onboards the AI agents that they're looking for. So that's usually 2 categories of people that know what they want to do and they can start immediately, or the ones that we need to do a bit of discovery to give them a bit of a flavor of what's possible.
And how quickly could they get started if they want to do that? I mean, I know we're at the beginning of 2026. What are we going to do in 2026? But more importantly, how are we going to roll with the punches as things continue to accelerate and change? Like, how quickly can they get that implemented? And, what can they expect after they do that? I mean, obviously people fear change, but like, how quickly can they get started?
And that's a great question. So we build this platform, Ian, to give you a bit of a segue to that, is that on an agnostic capabilities, we're not trying to get involved in the arms race between ChatGPT, OpenAI, and Claude and Gemini, between Elon Musk and Sam Altman, between Microsoft and Google. We had gone through this transitions before for 25 years. We bet on Apple, Microsoft wins. We bet on Microsoft, Amazon wins. So we decided to build a platform where our customers have the comfort that whatever they start, our platform is agnostic and it's strong enough because of our R&D and our years of experience that whatever changes that are macro, right, happen in the future, they can adapt very easy to it without keeping an eye or a finger on what's happening in the arms race on a day-to-day. So it's really easy for them to start with us on our platform because our platform removes all of the complexities of picking technologies, knowing what's happening tomorrow, what's the difference between this Monday versus the Monday after, and they can just focus on their use cases. They know their business better than anybody else, Ian, and we become their chief AI partner in order to grab their thoughts, or maybe they have use cases, or maybe they have process flows, or maybe they have a script, and we turn that immediately into an AI agent. It usually takes us, 3 to 5 days to start with someone from the interview process to the demo to them seeing a couple examples to where they can have their first baby AI coming from the maternity lounge of AI
Right.
agents. And then they will have the ability on our platform to mature this agent, Ian, for 30, 60, 90 days. Usually it takes between 60 to 90 days for a baby agent that does something really good from a technology perspective, meaning to do a perfect call with a perfect a voice, with a perfect objection for 2 or 3 questions, and then you improve them and mature them to handle every curveball that the human being usually does, but in a very inefficient way. So they can start very quickly. And our team, we grew almost, we have support 12 hours a day from Vancouver, Washington to New York, from New York to Chile, and then, from New York to London, London all the way to Eastern Europe. So it's a global organization that basically provides support to our members, both in person and with AI, 24 hours a day. So it's a pretty fast turnaround. And with AI, Ian, if you make a mistake, it's not as expensive. You can quickly adapt, you can quickly change, you can quickly move on to the next use case because it is not an ERP integration. It is not a multi-million-dollar deployment like SAP or CRM were back in the day.
Yeah.
And that's a blessing. And if people understand that, they will really befriend AI to change not only their lives, but the lives of their companies this year.
Fantastic. So is there an upper limit or a lower limit? Like, can people start with one agent? Can they do 1,000 agents? Is there something that they got to know there?
That's a great question. And usually everybody starts with one, right? I've seen a couple companies that have been a bit advanced, Ian, where they have been burned on some, non-SOC 2 compliant, not secure, not enterprise grade companies before. So they have the experience of 2 AI agents that failed. So they want to launch directly the moment that they find a strong partner like us. But most people usually start with one. It's really easy. You log into the platform, you have your use case, and you launch it. It uses all communication channels. It uses your knowledge base. So most people start with one, but our platform makes it really easy to train that one while to go and look for the next department that needs it. Because our platform, Ian, is organized like a human org chart. So you bring your AI agent under the CEO or owner or department heads, and instead of putting a human being, you're actually putting an AI agent. We made it simple for them to put one AI agent in every department to start with. And then when they fully understand the power of AI, Ian, they start creating more specialized agentic team members based on their needs that before they would cobble up in one job description or into one posting. I'm looking for a controller that does accounts payable and accounts receivable. And next thing you know, right, you have to do that with humans because it was so expensive. With AI, the cheapest AI agent can start as little as $7.99. A human would be 5 to 10 times more expensive. So it is something that they can start with one, but it's very quickly that by the end of 60 or 90 days, their brains are churning and they're building an entire agentic org chart, Ian. What do I need in finance? How can I even help my CFO have a little AI agent that maybe just part-time? It's fractional. It's usually during the end of the month season.
Yeah.
This technology evolution for the first time puts the power into the business owners that know their businesses well. They don't put it on Silicon Valley anymore. It looks like it. Yes, they will become the trillionaires. Elon Musk is almost there, right? But for the first time, it puts it into the hands of the business owner.
Yeah.
Before, it was in the hand of an ERP system, an inventory management system, Microsoft, what word you use. For the first time, if you work with the right agentic company and the right, ethical team, the business owners and their best departmental heads, they own the power of AI. They just don't know it yet.
Fantastic. Well, check out the details below and obviously reach out to Denis. I'm sure he can answer all your questions of a technical nature that I may not be able to answer. And also take a look at AI. It's going to be huge this year. You want to get ahead of the 8 ball here and ahead of the pack. But more importantly, you want to make your team more efficient. When you look at humans, rightly or wrongly, as you so aptly put it, if they're working 40 hours a week, they're not really working 40 hours a week because they break. They get panicked. They don't work full days. They get sick. Once you train an AI or an AI team, you can get them to execute a high level and improve over time, and they don't get sick. So there's a real advantage there. But thanks for taking the time today, and I'm looking forward to seeing the future as we move forward with AI in 2026. Have yourself a great day. Any final thoughts?
Thank you, Ian.
All right.
Thank you for helping the industry get better today live.